Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of True Myths, One Lie, the game show in the form of a podcast all about the paranormal, conspiracy theories, myths, urban legends, all of the things that we don't fully understand. I'm your host, Anthony Manella, and the way that the game works is I'm going to tell 3 stories, 2 of which are from people who claim that these things are true, these things have really happened to them, and 1 story that I have made up myself. It is up to you guys at home and my guests to try and figure out which is the story that I have made up. Today's first guest used to be a food delivery driver, and I used to order food from that restaurant just so he would show up to my house so I could pull him in and play around with Mario Kart with him, Tom Heinlein.
Hey, what's going on, guys? You guys also might know me as Andrew Heinlein's brother, the better older brother, so I'm happy to be here, Anthony. Thank you.
And today's second guest is the person who only watches a total of 3 movies over and over again, Dazed and Confused, The Breakfast Club, and Disney Pixar's Cars. My father, Larry Manella.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here.
So, guys, today we are going to be talking about black-eyed children.
Black-eyed children?
Black-eyed children. Have you ever heard of this? Do you know what this is?
I'm getting Slenderman vibes. I don't know why.
It is an urban legend, just like Slenderman. Difference between Slenderman and the black-eyed children. The black-eyed children they predate the internet, right? So Slenderman went viral because of the internet, and it was a totally fake thing that people believed because of the internet. People swear to have actually seen these children way before the internet ever existed. And then when the internet came out, all these other people were like, oh my gosh, you guys have had this experience too. So these are supposedly real creatures. So I'm gonna explain what they are. They're children somewhere between the ages of usually 5 to 13. And they come up to you and they ask you for something. They usually request something like, hey, can I borrow your phone? Or if they'll knock on your front door and say, can I come inside? My parents are looking for me, something like that. Then you realize that their eyes are just a pitch black void. And you do not want to let these people in. You do not want to say yes to whatever they're asking you, whatever they're requesting. If you do, people in the past who claim to have encountered them and given these kids what they want, they have said that they've experienced nothing but bad luck from that point forward. Like one couple said that they let a kid in to use their bathroom who had pitch black eyes, and after that, they were diagnosed with horrible diseases. Their pets were dropping dead.
I got a question for you, Anthony.
Yeah.
Are you a black-eyed child? Because I've heard that poor Larry over here has had nothing but bad luck since he met you.
No, that happened way back.
I think we're being conned right now.
Do you guys believe in the possibility of the paranormal and all of that?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Absolutely. I believe for many years, going back, way back to my childhood. Absolutely.
You have a story of your own.
I do.
Don't tell it, because I think I'm going to save it for a future episode of the podcast. But my dad does have a paranormal story.
Really?
Not with the black-eyed children, but...
I'd like to hear it.
Anyway, I'm going to get into the 3 stories, but real quick, we do have an urban legend story of ourselves. I really want to tell it, because I've never told this on the internet. One time, I was out at my friend's house, and when I came home, there was a note on my front door that said, find all 7 pages. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, Slenderman, the urban legend Slenderman, the way that the video game for Slenderman worked, you'd have to find all 7 pages in the woods before he'd get you. So this guy right over here, Tom, decided to hang 7 pages all around my house while I wasn't home. And when I came home, I went and found them all, and then the last page was hidden with him in the shed. So I would open the shed and I see him dressed as Slenderman standing in there. And it was so fun. It was such a good experience that we decided to prank some of our friends. Remember, we did it a second time.
We did it a second time.
With me and Andrew in cahoots.
Yep.
And me and Andrew invited a couple of people over, and there was just a door. I think you just rang the doorbell and ran, right? Mm-hmm. And me and Andrew played along. We were like, oh, let's go get the door. And then we were like, guys, all that's at the door is a note.
And I'd run to the back, dressed as and I stood in the back of the backyard. Yep.
Yeah, that was we literally played Slender in real life, but with people who didn't know what was happening. Yeah, and it was so fun.
When I set those notes up, by the way, the first time, I might have told you this, but now I'm going to admit it publicly. The neighbors stopped me. They saw me in the backyard walking around with a flashlight, hanging up notes. and they were like, excuse me, can we help you? And now I've got like a big white sock over my head, like I'm dressed up as Slenderman, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I know him. I'm just putting stuff around the yard. And they like didn't really question it. They were just like, oh, okay, go ahead.
Now I live here. Why don't I remember this story?
Dad, you were there.
I was.
I came home.
Oh, the note on the fence. Actually, the tape is still on the fence right now.
Is it really?
The last note.
Really?
I never took it off.
Oh, wow.
I never took it off.
So you do remember.
So I do remember. But I remember you getting stopped by the neighbors. I don't remember you.
Yeah, the neighbors stopped me. They wanted to know what I was doing, and I didn't explain. I just said I'm allowed to be here, and they said, okay. With a big white sock on my face.
That's so funny. You could have been robbing me and said, yeah, I know. And they were like, yeah, go, continue.
I was like, Larry lives here. They said, okay, yeah, he does.
Unfortunately, my neighbors don't know my name.
Well, they do now.
Well, anyway, we're going to get into some stories about some black-eyed kids now.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Story number 1. So there's a guy who lives near a pretty large lake. The guy was doing some yard work, and he figured after he was done, I'm gonna go for a nice swim in the lake. He doesn't go too often, but he was feeling it. So what he does is he finishes up his yard work, he goes over to the lake, and on his way over there, he hears a voice, what sounds like a little girl, say, help. And he looks around, and he doesn't see anything. But it's not unlikely for another person to be over here. This is a public lake. It's a residential area. So he's like, oh, maybe someone actually needs help. And he keeps looking. He doesn't see anybody. He heads out a little closer to the lake. And on the other side of the lake, he sees this little girl that looks like she's wearing dirty jeans and a bright green shirt. She's just standing there, staring at him. She's maybe about 9 years old. He's like, okay, maybe she's the one who called for help. So he swims out a little bit. You know, he's getting a better look at her, but he's not close enough to realize anything wrong just yet. And he says, can I help you? And she goes, can you help me cross the lake? I'm not a very strong swimmer. That's when it starts to hit him that the other side of the lake is all trees for like a mile. So how did this girl, who apparently can't swim, get to the other side of the lake to begin with, unless this little girl just walked like a mile through the woods by herself? He just kind of swimming closer and closer, and he says, what are you doing out here? And she goes, I'm lonely. Can I come back to your house with you until my parents come home? And at this point, he's close enough to get a better look at her, and he's pretty sure that her eyes are just pitch black. There's these two black voids. He has this immense feeling of dread come over him, and he turns around and says, I can't help you. And he starts swimming back. And she goes, no, wait, please. I'm lonely. She says that again, and he keeps swimming, and he hears a splash. And he looks over his shoulder, and he sees that she jumped in the water and claims she wasn't a strong swimmer, but is now swimming after him.
Wow, okay.
And he just swims as fast as he can. He gets back out of the lake, he runs to his house, he locks the doors, and he never sees this little girl again. And that is the end of story number 1. I'm gonna give you guys some time to discuss. Go.
You look pretty calm, and I'm over here, I'm sweating through my shirt,
So this was in the middle of the day.
It was like sunset.
Sunset.
But yes, the sun was still up. I was excited to have you on because I know that you react to horror pretty easily.
I gotta tell them that. I'm acting like a brick house right now. They can see that I'm tough, man.
Coming from the person who was horrified of Momo, which was literally just like
Bro,
someone's...
why would you bring that up, dude? The scratching feet? Dude, can we tell a story real quick?
Yeah,
you got time?
Go ahead.
So when I moved into my apartment 2 years ago, I lived there alone for a couple months, and I swear at night I could hear, you guys know Momo, right? I swear I could hear Momo's little chicken feet scratching across my floor at night, and I'd freak out, and I swear Momo was there with me, and I couldn't open my eyes. I just let it happen, and I'd go to sleep and wake up, and she was gone. But I know that she was in my bedroom with me, hearing those little chicken feet.
I hate to break it to you, but she was definitely just a statue for an art project or something like that. I forget exactly what she was. It was proven. Yeah, wasn't it proven to be just like a fake thing? But the whole internet believed it.
Oh yeah, Oh, yeah.
That's
But-
another one where like the whole internet took it and made it into this thing that it wasn't and made it, the internet made it real. The black-eyed children weren't made real. They were real first.
I don't like this. I don't know if I want to be on this episode anymore. I'm freaking out.
Well, I'm trying to think now. I mean, how big is this lake? Why would you jump in the lake and swim across it?
I believe it.
I would never have done that, number one.
If a little girl was asking you for help, if you thought she was just a normal little girl who needed help, you wouldn't?
If I had a boat, maybe, but I wouldn't swim.
This guy's a dad, so he's onto something.
It's a good story. I like it, but I'm not sold on it.
I'm going to go on record and say I believe it, but I'm going to default to my elder here. And
But I want to hear the other
we'll
stories.
see what happens.
And then we'll
see what happens.
Okay, story number 2. So there's a guy who just took his wife out to the movies, and it was a midnight showing, so it's pretty late. It's the middle of the night. The guy and his wife are walking back to their car, and they parked on like the side of a road. A bunch of other cars are parked there. And on their walk back to their car, that's when the guy feels a tug, the back of his shirt. Someone's tugging on him. So he turns around, sees a little kid who's staring at the floor, face constantly down. And he goes, "Excuse me, sir, can I please have some spare change?" And the guy goes, "Sorry, kid, I don't have anything." And he tries to walk away, and the kid again goes, "Please, I really need change." And the guy feels frightened. He feels like something's off here, something's weird, so he gestures to his wife, "Hey, get in the car." So he unlocks the car, wife gets in the car, and he's still standing there with the kid. He's like, "I'm sorry, I really don't have anything." So what the guy does is he gets in the car, locks the doors, and in his rearview mirror, he sees this kid staring at them. And that's when he notices, because for the first time, the kid's not looking down at the ground, he notices that the kid has just pitch black eyes.
Was he in the back seat or he was outside the car?
He was outside of the car.
Okay.
The guy's like freaking out now. He's like, "Oh my gosh, do you see that?" The kid walks over to the side window of the car, starts knocking on the window once again, more forcefully this time. "Please, sir, I need change." And the guy keeps saying no, and he asks repeatedly. The kid asks over and over and over again. The guy keeps saying no. The kid grabs the handle of the car and tries to get in the car with them. Thankfully, the guy locks the doors, so the kid is not getting in. The second that the kid lets go of the car door, the guy speeds off, and the kid starts screaming, just yelling, not a particular word, just yelling in general, and sprints after the car, and it's getting faster and faster, and it's running almost just as fast as their car. The car finally pulls onto a road that's more populated. There's a couple of other cars driving around. They look in the rearview mirror. Kid is gone.
Gone.
Nothing's there. And they never run into this car. They never run into this car. I mean the kid. They definitely ran into their car again. They never run into this kid ever again. And that is the end of story number 2. I'm going to give you time to discuss. Go.
So my first thought, my creepy sensors weren't going off the same way with this story. Like when Anthony called me out before and said like I get a little freaked out, I most certainly do. And this one I felt okay. Not gonna lie, if that kid were in the back seat, I'd be having a different reaction right now. But the fact that he was outside the car, I felt okay. I felt a little more at peace with this story. So for that alone, I'm leaning. I was leaning toward the first one. I'm leaning against this one. Creepy, but I feel a little better about it.
What would you have done if you saw this kid and you got in your car? I would have started it up right away and started to, I wouldn't have waited for him to knock on my window. I would have been gone as soon as I got in the car.
Yeah, after I saw those pitch black eyes, I probably would have.
Especially when you looked in the mirror, the rearview mirror, right? And you saw him looking up at you with the black eyes. Yeah, I would have just put it in drive and taken off.
Anything else you guys want to add before we move into our next segment?
I'm not looking forward to this last segment. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, lucky for you, before we get into our last segment, we're going to play a quick little mini game.
A little icebreaker.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, this is the first time we're playing this game on the show. So hopefully this works the way that I have it planned to work. We're going to play Guess Who. All
Okay.
right? So you're familiar with the board game Guess Who, how you have a bunch of characters up and you can ask the other person yes or no questions about the person. We're basically going to play that, but with mythical creatures.
Okay.
So I'm going to think of a mythical creature. You guys get to ask me 5 yes or no questions to try and narrow down which creature I'm thinking of. I'm not gonna pick like an obscure one that like only I know
So
and
it's one
nobody's
that
heard
we'll
of.
know.
It's one that you guys definitely know. Then I'll also give you guys 3 guesses too.
Is it Siren Head?
It's not Siren
Is it
Head.
the Rake?
Okay, wait. Well, hold on. Let me.
Well, the question I was going to ask was, does he have a siren on his head?
We're on the same wavelength here, Larry. This is good stuff.
Okay, listen. You guys are. Maybe this is going to be easier for you guys to win than I thought.
Is he tall and slender?
Yeah, let the game commence.
I think we should ask if it stands on 2 legs or if it stands on 4 or like slithers or something. Like I think we should ask, does it stand on 2 legs? Right? Because that narrows
That's a good question.
That narrows it down,
First
right?
question, yep.
It could be like a Sasquatch or something. Does it stand on 2 legs?
It does.
Woo, see, look at us.
Okay.
So, next question.
Is
it your dad?
Okay, well, question number 2 was wasted by Tom, and that is okay. It is not my
No.
dad.
Come on, that don't count.
Say it. I'm not your dad.
That's right. Stop calling me dad.
All right, Pops.
Is it hairy?
It is not Harry.
Okay, so that was 3 questions.
No, I'll take it back. You get
Okay.
question 2 back.
Okay, so it's not Harry, so it's not Anthony, and it stands on 2 legs. Does it wear clothes?
It does wear clothes.
Oh, Larry, it's gotta be Slenderman. Larry.
Does it have a white face?
I want to say yes. It does have a white face, but
There's a
I'm
caveat.
gonna say yes. I'm gonna
Okay,
say yes
okay.
because I can't say more.
That's
more
4.
than that.
That's 4.
Yeah.
Okay. We also get 3 guesses at the end of this last question. So, one of those guesses is gonna be Slenderman almost no matter what. But let's think about what it could be. Right? Could be Slenderman.
We already know it's not Siren Head.
Could be some kind of clown, like it, or the clowns that were plaguing the United States a couple of years ago.
Does it speak?
It does.
It's not Slenderman. Slenderman don't speak.
That's right. It doesn't.
That's a good question.
Is that 4 questions?
That's 5.
That's 5.
That
Okay.
was 5.
That was 4.
Oh, my bad. That was 4. For all those paying attention out there, that was 4 questions.
Clearly, I wasn't even paying
Those are like
attention.
8 questions.
I'm telling you, you guys.
We know this.
You guys have all the pieces here. You asked the best questions. You have all the pieces.
We just got to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Larry, you got to pull the trigger on one of these. And we've got nothing. We've got clowns and black-eyed children.
And it's not Slenderman, and it's not Siren Head.
It can't be Slenderman, and it can't be Siren Head. Siren Head doesn't have a white face, and Slenderman doesn't speak.
Man, I am just at the point where...
Do you think it's Momo?
All right, that's our guess. Is it Momo?
Not Momo.
But I was really close.
I would say this thing looks less scary than Momo.
Really?
And this thing, so what I'll say is that it's kind of a whole species. It's not just like Momo is like one thing. Slenderman is one thing. Bigfoot is a species. This other thing is also a species. There's multiple of this thing.
Oh, dude, it could be like gnomes. Could be like...
You're on the right track now.
Okay. Could be like not a scary thing. He's going easy on us. He's getting soft. It's like a gnome. Or like little elves. Or,
God. I mean,
you just
right now the
blanked
audience
out.
is going, oh my God, how stupid are we? You know?
I'm gonna give you guys a 6th question. How about that?
Okay.
A 6th yes or no question.
Okay, Larry, let's think about this for a second.
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
But no, that's not it. That's not his guess. That's not his
White
guess.
face, walks on 2 legs, friendly.
Hail.
I never said it was friendly. You added that
Wait,
yourself.
you said it was friendly. Didn't Tom say it?
I'm just being hopeful.
Okay. Oh, just hopeful. Okay. I misunderstood.
Okay, it's a species of things, though, that we know. People definitely think that they're real,
You could argue that they are.
and I could argue that they are real.
Yes. That's a big hint. I don't know if you realize it, but it is.
It's probably a really big hint.
Aliens.
I was just gonna say that, too!
Is that a guess? Is that guess number 2?
Our question is it aliens?
Yeah, that's our 6th question.
I'm gonna have to void that question.
Why? Because is that the answer?
It's not aliens.
Okay, so that our question was, is it
All right,
aliens?
so you wasted your question. You have 2 more guesses now. I tried to help you.
Why did you avoid that question?
Because I was trying to say, use that as a guess so you have another real question to ask.
Oh. Well, so avoid it. All right.
Yeah, it's your show.
Let's come up with another question.
No, it's too late. You guys dug yourselves
man.
into the hole.
All right.
If Christopher was here right now, he would know exactly what it is.
He would.
Yeah. If Andrew was here right now, he would know exactly what it is. That's a hint.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, fine, because you guys are never gonna get it.
Oh.
Was this creature ever thought of in your videos? Was he in your videos?
Yeah, that's why I said both
Yeah,
Andrew.
come on, Larry.
So-
come on, you know all of his videos. Come on, Larry. This is why you're on the show, to win. You're my ringer.
It's
Babyface.
What?
That you have.
What is that? Larry, that is not his guess either.
I like this. This is a good team, I guess. We know what's wrong. He says, that's not a good. So we get another guess. The mask. You had the mask.
you're on the right track, but it's a video that Andrew's in. Andrew literally portrayed this creature. He played the creature for a video. And so did I.
I guess we don't watch all Anthony's videos.
A vampire! It's a vampire!
Thank you.
It's a vampire!
Oh my
I
goodness.
got it! We did it, Larry! We did it!
You really did it.
We got him!
I mean, nobody better than us.
Oh my god.
Take that.
That was the best.
We got the answer!
Kind
We
of.
got it! I figured it out!
He figured it out, but we're a team.
Edit out and pretend. Put that first. Be like, you guys get 5 questions. Vampires! And that's it.
The segment
Cut
gets
everything
cut down.
out.
Cut everything
You guys
out.
have 5
That's it.
questions. Vampires.
You can't even speak.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
Dude, I knew it. As soon as you said Andrew, I knew it. After 10 minutes of deliberation.
Okay, we have to take a very quick break, but right after the break, we're gonna get into story number 3.
I was hoping you forgot.
We will be right back. Has anything been interfering with your happiness lately, or are you dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, etc.? Well, our sponsor, BetterHelp, can fix that. BetterHelp is a counseling service that will actually assess you and match you with your own licensed professional therapist for your specific needs. It's super convenient. You can connect with a therapist in just under 48 hours, privately, online, without even leaving your home. No more needing to go out and find the best therapist for you because they're all right at your fingertips. And if for some reason you feel like the person you're working with isn't the best match for you, it's free to switch counselors. You can send a message to your counselor at any time, and you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. To top it all off, this service is available to everyone worldwide. Not to mention, when I was signing up on their website, you literally just answer some questions and then you're done. It's simple, convenient, affordable. If this is something you're considering, then you have nothing to lose. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/culture35. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/culture35. Thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's episode. So, guys, it's summertime. You know what that means? I get to go outside and wear shorts to be cooler. The problem with that is every time I wear shorts, I get made fun of because I'm hairy. Thankfully, our sponsor Manscaped is coming in to save the day. Manscaped is the best men's below-the-waist trimmer, and they've just launched the Lawnmower 4.0. Imagine owning a trimmer that for the first time makes shaving not horrifying. Every time I shave myself, I cut myself. Literally every time. I don't know how else you're supposed to do it, but thankfully, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade with skin-safe technology to reduce grooming accidents. It also comes with an LED spotlight that you can switch on and off so you can actually see what you're doing. And did I mention that there's also a new wireless charging system and a longer-lasting battery? No? Yeah, well there is. Guys, all the men listening, if you've been shaving your face with the same trimmer that you use to shave the rest of your body, now's the time to fix that. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code TrueMyths at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code TrueMyths. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Thank you again to Manscaped for sponsoring today's episode. And we are back. Okay, guys? After the pulling teeth, that was the mini game and the first 2 stories. Are you ready to jump into story number 3?
That was the shortest
We're
mini
ready.
game I've ever been a part of. We got that answer right away.
I know.
Larry, we are a true power couple.
Try to beat our record.
Okay, all right. Anyway, story number 3. So there's a man who worked the night shifts at a restaurant. The restaurant was super, super close to his apartment, so he used to just walk back from his job every night to his apartment. He leaves there. It's about 1 a.m. He's just on his phone looking down. When he looks up, he sees 2 kids in the middle of this completely empty road holding hands, walking towards him. And he thinks, that's kind of weird. What are these kids doing out here at 1 a.m? But okay. They turn to the side, they look both ways, and they cross the road to the other side of the sidewalk that the man is not standing on. And he's like, I don't know why they looked both ways. The road is empty, but sure, kids are taught to do that. Nothing weird yet. Then they cross right back.
This one's real, Larry.
They do this 4 or 5 times until they are right in front of him, right? So they cross, walk a little bit, cross, walk a little bit, cross, walk a little bit. They're now right in front of him. He, at this point, can see that it's a girl about 9 and a boy about 13. And the boy says, excuse me, sir, we're lost. Our parents must be worried. And then the girl says, can we come to your house and borrow your phone? Our parents must be worried. And the man thinks, this is really weird. And it's already dark out, but he's pretty sure that their eyes are also pretty dark. Much darker than they should be, even for how dark out it is. And he says to the kids, I can let you borrow my cell phone, or I can call the police, but you can't come back to my house. And the kids go, our parents are worried. And the man is like, okay, they didn't really answer my question. And that's when he feels this sensation in his body as if something's taking over him.
Kind of like what I'm feeling right now.
Something's taking over him. And he's just like, any other night, no way would I leave 2 children in the middle of the road who are lost alone. But I'm leaving these 2 children who are alone, lost. And he walks right past them. And he keeps walking and he keeps walking. And he turns around and he sees them doing the same thing. They're holding hands, looking both ways, crossing the road. And they just continue to do that. And he's never run into these kids again. And that is the last time that he has encountered them on his walk home from work.
Well, they kept walking.
So, Larry, this story's a little different. I don't know if you picked up on it. It takes a keen mind, but these kids didn't chase him like the other 2 kids did.
Some of the theories, just some fun backstory.
Oh yeah, just for fun.
Yeah, nobody knows if these are true or not, but some people think that the black-eyed children are actually like aliens in disguise who are trying to get in or learn information about us or whatever it is.
Fair, I like that one.
Some people think that they're like demons because the people who do let them in, those people are said to be cursed for the rest of their lives.
Less fun.
There's a couple of theories, but there was the person who initially had the encounter with them who broke the story way before the internet was a thing. After the internet came out, said, I stand by my story.
Wow.
I'm telling you, these children are real.
Wow.
So, it's one of the most believable ones that I've heard. Obviously, still slightly skeptical with things like this. You always gotta be, but yeah, it's freaky. That being said, I'm gonna go over all 3 stories real quick. I'm gonna recap them, and then I'm gonna have you guys make your final decisions.
Okay.
So, story number 1, guy goes to the lake for a swim. Hears a girl yell help, sees her standing on the other side. He goes over to help her, notices she has pitch black eyes. She swims after him. He runs away. Story number 2, guy is coming back with his wife from the movies. Kid comes up to them asking for money, and he does not have any money to give. Gets in the car, drives away, and the kid chases after their car and is banging on the window and so on and so forth. Story number 3, guy is coming home from his job. Kids are crossing the street multiple times. Asked to come back to his house to use the phone because their parents are worried. Man leaves him there. They continue to cross the street. Those are the 3 stories. I'm going to give you guys some time to discuss and then make your final decision. Go.
I believe that first story is 100% genuine. Both Anthony found it, and I believe that the person telling the story really encountered this. The second story, if it is one that Anthony found on the internet, I believe that person's lying. I think that person didn't have a real encounter. But I think that story is real, but the person telling it lied.
Okay.
I think the third story is made up.
Right. And the third story, the kids didn't follow him.
They did not follow him.
Right. The other two, they did get followed.
Yeah. That last one is weird, but that last one is just weird enough and just different enough that Anthony could be trying to pull one over on us.
As your father, I order you to tell me which one.
That'll be a first for the series. I just give away the answer.
All right. So the one that is
Not real.
not real, I'm leaning towards the second.
You're leaning toward the second. Given that I believe that the second one is a lie ultimately, I will go with your fatherly instinct. Anthony,
Yes.
we are locking in story number 2.
Story number 2
Story number 2.
is not the one that I made up. I'm sorry.
Was it the third story?
Do you want to give it a second guess for fun?
I will agree with that decision.
Okay. Okay, Larry, you lock this one in.
We're locking in story number 3.
So story number 3 for fun guess. Guys, I made the only one that you guys were confident was real. I made the lake one.
I should have known that you make a better story than everyone else on the internet. How blind are we, Larry?
Oh my God.
We should have known that Anthony is the true mastermind.
Hey, when are you moving out?
Guys, thank you so much for playing.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thanks for asking me. Usually I get asked to, Dad, can you get out of the room? Dad, we need this room to film. Dad, can you take your plate and go in the den while we film in the kitchen?
For those of you who are listening anywhere where podcasts are available, make sure you give this podcast a rate and review. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast for free. It really helps us out. For those of you who are watching the video version over on our YouTube channel, make sure to, what, Tom? Tell them what to do.
Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Comment which story you thought was the realest and which one you thought was the fakest. And comment which one of us at the table's the most handsome.
Ooh, see, he's good. He's good at these endings.
Yeah, rate this podcast against the others.
Anyway, if you have stories of your own.
I guess this is my last show.
You're in my contract.
Thanks for having me.
If you have stories of your own, whether they're real stories, something that weird that's happened to you, something that's crazy that's happened to you, or if you've written a fake story that you want me to use as the lie, please send them all my way. I'd love to read them. I might use them on a future episode of the podcast. You can send the stories in at truemyths1lie@gmail.com or to my Instagram @call235, whichever you prefer. That's about it. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Thank you for listening. And we will see you guys again on Friday with a brand new comedy skit on our channel. And again next Tuesday with a brand new episode of True Myths, One Lie. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.